afternoon and welcome to Staff's Live. I'm Rebecca Clark.
And I'm Laura Woodfield. And here's today's headlines.
A group of post office workers are camped outside the Royal Mail depot in Shelton as part of a nationwide strike over threats of redundancies.
Staff's Live spoke to Steve Ball, owner of the Burslem Queen's Theatre, about his disappointment over the cancellation of his annual pantomime.
Staffordshire University held an unusual lecture today about Christmas jumpers.
Post office workers in charge of admin and security have been on strike all over the country today following redundancy threats. Lewis Buddy investigates.
Admin and supply chain workers at the post office are on strike today following the threat of compulsory redundancies in the UK. Over the past 2 weeks, the Communication Workers Union and the post office have been in talks, but they ended today without agreement. The threats will affect the 1,500 employees who distribute cash across the post office network. Local branch of the CWU, Midland No. 7, have been outside the Royal Mail depot in Stoke-on-Trent since 6 a.m. The cuts will affect over 30% of the post office's security staff in the local area. Strikes are taking place in 750 locations nationwide and are expected to last until 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. We spoke to Ruth Barker, a spokesperson for the post office.
In terms of the strike action taking place in the post office supply chain today, that does not include people working in post office branches. It's very much business as usual today in all post office branches across the country, so people can go in to get their cash, post their Christmas cards, whatever it is they need to do, just as normal, business as usual.
I'm Lewis Bunny for Staff's Live.
The Queen's Theatre in Burslem has had to cancel its annual pantomime this year after water damage to the building has proved too dangerous for the performances to go ahead. Ciara Lawn spoke to the owner about what this means.
Steve Ball, owner of the Queen's Theatre in Burslem, has spoken out recently about how he feels let down by Stoke-on-Trent City Council after his theatre has fallen into such disrepair that this year's panto can't go ahead.
I first came in here in, I think it was January 2002, and it was just such a stunning building that was being forgotten about. We were induced, along with taking over the place. It's on record, I'd only got £150,000 to input into the project. We beat Weatherspoons and people like that because they didn't want them to have it. So they thought my plans were best for the building, and we worked with the council and the officers, and we were supposed to get some funds. It never materialised. I've robbed me pension funds, I've robbed me family funds. We've forsaken having repairs done at my house for here, especially to keep panto going. Kilnstone Properties Limited, who own the lease, that's of course which I'm a director, they haven't got any money now. The Queen's Theatre Production Society, of which I'm the chairman, and all the volunteers, we get together to do panto and what have you. That's how we've managed to keep going, with funds from me underpinning the society, and funds from renting it out to other people for quite not a lot of money. Do it Panto's been our mainstay. I just love to do panto. I love to see the kids smile. It's hit very hard. From a personal point of view, I'm just so sad that we've had to tell a lot of people that we just can't do it this year for obvious reasons, with regards to the water ingress into the building, especially over that side. And it's okay to do a one-night event, but to do panto over a period of 3 to 4 weeks, preparing for it and shutting down afterwards, and trying to give us the public a homely feeling when they come here, it's just not possible at this moment in time.
Something to get you into the festive spirit now. Today is National Christmas Jumper Day. Libby Lovell jumped at the opportunity to find out more.
Save the Children are holding their 3rd annual Christmas Jumper Day today. I'm here at Staffordshire University, where Dr. Matt Slater is doing a lecture on Christmas jumpers. I've got my jumper ready. The sport and exercise psychology lecturer talks about the rising popularity of Christmas jumpers. The lecture focused on how social identity and belonging within a group inspires our love of festive woolies. Students and lecturers alike wore their cheesiest jumpers and came to enjoy some festive fun. According to Matt, whether you wear a Christmas jumper or not reflects your Christmas spirit and how involved you are in the big day. Throughout, he referred to the positive attitudes Staffordshire University students have. The event ended with a quiz on Christmas television adverts, with prizes for those scoring 4 or more. Dr. Matt Slater told us more.
This Christmas jumper day is something we're trying to do in terms of getting the staff and students to come along in the Christmas jumpers to show that commonality between the staff and students and try and increase that sense of identity, I guess, they have with us. I think, 10 years ago, nobody was wearing them, and it was a present that you definitely didn't want to get, I guess, from other people. I'm not sure really why they've got more and more popular, but I think now the younger they are, the better. Yeah, I think it's a national event, so we're just kind of one of the things that we're trying to help the charity in terms of aiding fundraising as much as possible. So yeah, hopefully there's a lot of students that have bought into it, there's a lot of staff doing it as well. We've got a text code set up so people text in to donate, as well as collection tubs. Fundraising from those activities will go straight to Save the Children and help in any way that we can.
Definitely going to get myself one of those.
Me too. Ceramic experts have been investigating the origins of a piece of tile work found in a cafe in Hanley. Joe Farrow went digging around.
Those who live, work and shop on Piccadilly and Hanley are no strangers to the sounds of excavation. Roadworks seem to be always going on down the road. But recently, it's not only workmen who have been digging something up. Taz Harrison and Gav Tilstone opened the Teaspoon Cafe in town last month. But after removing an old doormat in the entrance of the building, they found an original piece of tile work.
We decided to have a peek underneath the doormat, which initially was quite scary because obviously we realised that whatever we found underneath, we almost become responsible for. So we pulled the doormat up, but immediately we were struck with the design. We fell in love with it.
Since the discovery, ceramic enthusiasts have been flocking to the cafe to take a look at the tiles, with some even speculating they could be from famous local company Minton.
Style-wise, it's an Art Nouveau design, so it's very beautiful and flowing lines. We think it's got a central motif, or roundel as it's called, which is probably the initials of the original shop owner. The only way of being sure about the maker of a mosaic is really if you can get hold of the original building contract, or possibly a bill of sale from a maker that explicitly references this property.
And while the tiles are being excavated and cleaned, anyone with information about the mosaic has been asked to get in touch with the cafe. Joe Farrer reporting for Staffs Live.
And now for the entertainment with Danny.
It's the X Factor final this weekend, and we can look forward to Andrea Festini, Ben Haynow and Fleur East fight to be crowned the winner. The guest performances this weekend are definitely ones to get excited about. Over the weekend, we will be treated to Ed Sheeran, Meghan Trainor, Sam Smith, Ollie Murs, Demi Lovato, and if that wasn't enough, One Direction are going to be back on the X Factor stage, singing their new #1 song. It was a bit of a shocker last week on Strictly, as we had to say goodbye to Pixie Lott. But the show must go on, as it's the semi-final this weekend, and the remaining 6 contestants are all going to be dancing their socks off, in hopes to grab a place in the final next week. The first ever BBC Music Awards came to our screens last night, and Pharrell Williams has walked away as the biggest winner of the night. He picked up Best International Artist and won Song of the Year for his chart-topping single, Happy. The Best British Artist was awarded to Ed Sheeran, who has had a very successful year. The ceremony was all about celebrating a brilliant year of music, and the night saw show-stopping performances from One Direction, Take That and Coldplay. And that's all for entertainment.
Well, I think they should all win. And with the sport, here's Leah Platt.
Stoke City visits Selhurst Park tomorrow, looking to extend their recent run of good form against struggling Crystal Palace. Manager Mark Hughes has only a few worries about the injuries.
We've got a doubt over Mark Muniesa. Got a hamstring, didn't complete the game last week, so he's a major doubt. John Walters a little bit sore in his knee, so we're managing that. Unless I've forgotten somebody, I think everybody else is okay.
Port Vale haven't lost a single match at home since Rog Page took over in mid-September, and he's hoping that form can continue against Coventry tomorrow.
So we've had the spare weekend, we've rested up, we've had a nice couple of days breathing. They've come back in nice and bright on Monday with obviously Coventry in mind for the Saturday. We know we're going to be in for a tough game. They're going to be well organised, hard to break down. They've got players in the team that can hurt us. I think he's used the low market quite well. So, you know, we'll respect them for that, but we know our home form is there for everybody to see. We're capable of playing against the best and hurting the best, and I think we'll be more focused on what we're all about as opposed to them.
Vale's Stafford-born midfielder Chris Birchall has pledged his future to his childhood team following a meeting with Page about the manager's long-term plans.
What I've done for the club over the years, and for me it's nowhere else I want to be, and my family's here, and for me I just want to sign a lengthy contract to stay.
Ali McCoist has offered his resignation as Rangers manager, but as it stands he will be in charge for tonight's Scottish Championship fixture against Queen of the South. Sean Abbott recorded his best ever bowling performance in his first match following the death of Philip Hughes. The New South Wales 22-year-old player took 6 wickets for just 14 runs as his state team beat Queensland. The match took place at Sydney Cricket Ground, the venue where Abbott bowled the ball that led to the death of Hughes last month. That's all your sport for now.
Thanks, Leah. And now for the weather. It will be a dry night with clear spells, which will lead to a cold and frosty night with some icy stretches.
That's all your news for now. For more details, visit staffslive.co.uk.
Or visit us on Staffs Live at Staffs Live on Twitter. And now we have some breaking news. The entire London airspace has been closed. We're receiving reports that this is due to a computer failure. The issue appears to be at Swanwick Air Traffic Control and is expected to remain closed until 7 this evening.
That's all your news for now. For more details, visit staffslive.co.uk.
I'm Laura Woodfield.
I'm Rebecca Clark.
Goodbye.